Got that audio, Ric Flair dripping.
Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Gettin Cheezy with Van Jeezy. I'm Van.
And I'm Jeezy.
I want to say this right off the bat. We have surpassed 1,000 listens and plays on SoundCloud.
Thanks, everybody.
Which means we're averaging approximately 27 listens per episode, which means about 10% of you that follow us on social media are participating. So thank you to the 10%.
That's so good. This is really a victory for the fans.
We talked about it last week. I didn't think we were going to get this far or continue doing it this long, so I think it's a victory for ourselves.
I mean, I don't want to take anything away from us, but definitely keeps the inspiration coming when we have people getting involved.
I can hear you buzzing.
Maybe she's calling on the cheese line right now.
That's my older sister.
Hold on, she might be calling on the cheese line. We're leaving a voicemail.
Oh, it's my nephew Charlie. Charlie, you're famous. I have no idea what you're saying, but you're on the podcast now.
Trying to say SpongeBob SquarePants.
He's SpongeBob SquarePants?
Uh-huh. Okay, say bye to Alex. Bye, Alex.
Bye-bye, Charlie. Thanks for calling, buddy.
There we
That
go.
was
Got a
exciting.
call
That was
into the cheese line.
I think that was our first legitimate phone call on the cheese line.
There it is. There it is. Also, sub note on SpongeBob, though. I just found out you can get SpongeBob on Amazon Prime.
Oh, the fuck, you really? Really?
Yeah, it's on there. I watched a couple episodes.
Guess what I'm doing the rest of my life. So, week 8 just completed on Monday night. Run down the scores. Packers 31, Chiefs 24. Yeah.
Yep.
Note from that, Aaron Jones, 226 scrimmage yards, most by any Green Bay player since 2003. Also won him NFC Offensive Player of the Week awards.
Well-deserved one there.
Vikings 19, Redskins 9. Colts 15, Broncos 13. Titans 27, Buccaneers 23. Saints 31, Cardinals 9 in Drew Brees.
Whooping.
In Drew Brees' return from injury. Go Drew Brees. Rams 24, Bengals 10, Jags 29, Jets 15, Lions 31, Giants 26, Chargers 17, Bears 16 on another missed field goal. Sorry about it, Bears.
Wah, wah, wah.
Eagles 31, Bills 13.
Whooping.
Seahawks 27, Falcons 20. You better need to wind up for this one. Take a deep breath for your ass whooping on this one. 49ers 51, Panthers 13.
Ass whooping.
It was bad. Oh, gosh. Patriots 27, Browns 13, which marks Bill Belichick's 300th career win, including playoffs. Yeah. Texans 27, Raiders 24, Steelers 27, Dolphins 14. So, for the week, Van and Jeezy both go 4-1. So the overall records stand at Van 30-15-1, Jeezy 31-14-1.
That's right, player. How's this
It's
smell
close.
from the near behind?
I mean, I'm pretty used to smelling your behind, so it's not any different. Not really any different than normal. So, I put this in there because it could have an effect on the NFL. Very briefly, the NCAA has made a motion or is now allowing players to be compensated for their name, image, and likenesses to be used in like games, jerseys, things like that. So now players can get paid.
Wow. And are we talking about they could get paid endorsement deals kind of comparable to what NFL players would be seeing?
This is where it gets hairy. I don't know.
That's very interesting. So is it legal as of like today or in the last 5 days or 10 days or 15 days?
I think it came out the past couple of days. It was when the news broke. I don't think there's much, going on. I mean, they're allowing it, so I don't know how the legality works.
I know Zion must be pretty upset this is after him. I think that dude had an opportunity perhaps to be just one of the most heavily compensated college athletes.
Is that basketball now? We're talking about basketball now? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways.
That's interesting. We'll see how it does affect. I mean, certainly if if college students are getting paid, I think that changes their rush to getting to the draft and getting into the league.
Exactly. Now there's a more difficult balance of, do I want to stay in college and get paid because I know I'm good and I'm definitely going to get paid in college and risk another year where I could get hurt or my stats could drop, or do I just be done now and to make the leap? And it's gonna be interesting to see. You heard it here first that it's gonna be a mess.
I want a quick touch. I added this article about the top 5 power rankings.
Can I read off the bottom 5?
All right, do the bottom 5, and I'm going to do the top.
Number 28, Falcons at 1-7, moved down one spot. 29, Jets at 1-6, stayed the same from last week. Bengals, number 30, 0-8, previously 30. Redskins, 1-7, 31, previously 31. And the last and worst team in the league, Dolphins at 0-7. This is from NFL.com.
All right, well, anyway, I'm going off the USA Today published yesterday. Here's their top 5 power rankings. Patriots number 1, one of the 2 undefeated teams. But the other undefeated team does not take 2. The number 2 seed, Saints, which I think well-deserved. The 49ers take spot 3. The Pack take spot 4. And the Vikings take 5. 2 of the NFC North teams rounding out the top 5 power rankings. 2 other teams in there, undefeated, and the Saints looking unstoppable with Drew Brees' return and with Alvin Kamara's likely return after the bye week. I don't know how anyone can stop them.
NFL.com has the same ranking list, except 49ers and Saints are swapped. They got 49ers at number 2. It's interesting the Vikings are in here at 5, for as much as everybody was shitting on them like 3 weeks ago.
I mean, they're just the thing about the Vikings is, and the reason I think they're going to go far is their defense is good. They've got a good defense, so their offense, it takes a lot of pressure off that offense, which has arguably the best runner in the league, and seemingly a quarterback who's doing much better in Kirk Cousins.
He is currently leading the league in passer rating. Did you know that?
As average or?
Yeah, for the season. Currently leading the league in passer rating.
Wow.
So, okay, understand the Patriots being there, although I will say they haven't beat anybody. I added it up last week, and I added it up last week, and the people they had beat, they only had one team with a winning record, which is still true. They only beat the Bills with a winning record, and everybody else was a combined like 12 wins to 40 losses. So, congratulations, Patriots. You're beating up on B-list teams. Not even B-list, D-list teams. They beat the Jets. They beat the Jets twice already. Who cares?
They're beating up on delisted teams.
They beat the Jets. They beat the Browns. They beat just all the Dolphins. Congratulations. I could beat the Dolphins by myself.
Now you're being sassy, fan. Now you're just
the 49ers.
Nobody likes a sassy fan.
I'm good with the 49ers being there. The Saints, I guess I don't know enough about the Saints right now to know if they deserve that top 5 spot. And the Vikings, I don't feel like they do, but maybe, they've been playing really well lately, but
the Vikings are also playing against the NFC North. So, they're playing comparable teams to what we've played.
Yeah, that's the top 5. The NFL trade deadline happened yesterday. Was it yesterday it happened? Not too worked up one way or the other about the trade deadline. Someone who is worked up, Joe Flacco, completely blasts his coaches.
Did you get a chance to watch the clip?
I did, yeah.
I sympathize here with Joe Flacco. This is a team, the Broncos, now 2-6, and Flacco says the same thing. We're 2-6. Why can't we be aggressive? What do we have to lose? Why are we playing like we're scared to lose a game? We've already lost a bunch of games. And, say what you want about Flacco being old and washed up and never that good to begin with. I agree with those things generally, but one thing I never accused that guy of is a desire to win and playing hard. I will give him that credit all the time.
Yeah.
And
you can play hard and be aggressive and still not be great.
Yeah. No, that's true.
That was a story of like my high school sports career.
Yeah, me too. That might be the story of my entire life.
Look at this. Flacco says He says, it's 3rd and 5 at the end of the game. Who cares if they have a timeout there at the end or not? Getting in field goal range isn't that tough. You're just putting your defense in these bad situations, and I felt like, what do we have to lose? Why can't we be aggressive in some of these situations? That's kind of how I felt a lot about the game today. And then at the end of the clip, he says that, and you kind of see his face go like, yeah, like, I know I just shit talked my coaches in front of, like, in the public. I'm going to get in trouble.
Joe Flacco gets in trouble. Now streaming on the internet near you.
Did you also see Phillip Rivers, like, yelling at his coach, Anthony Lynn, on the sidelines during their game?
I did. He looked very, very frustrated.
Phillip Rivers also almost got into it with somebody else, too. But, like, he gets into it with his coach, and then, like, 3 plays later, throws a pick.
Yep. I mean, it's one of these things that I think if you're frustrated, you got to save it till after the game. The sideline frustration doesn't help anyone, and I think it makes these types of adverse plays more common. When you're playing frustrated, you're blowing up on other people right on the sidelines. I think that's what happens. So
That's a good summary.
Shame on you, Phillip Rivers. If you got beef with the coach, there's a time and a place to do it. But as the leader of the team, I don't think you can just blow up right there on the sideline.
No, you've got to be calm and collected a little bit better than that. I'm not sure if it was in the first, second half. You can take those things to halftime too. You can take those things off the actual field. But anyways,
also one other rumor coming out of that article: the Chargers are seriously considering a QB change this summer, and multiple scouts have connected them to LSU's Joe Burrow.
I mean, Phillip Rivers is up there. He's been playing for a long time.
Now, everyone take that for granted. That was from a tweet that was cited on your favorite, BroBible.com.
Yeah. I bet we could get a BroBible.com sponsorship.
They might link to our site on a trash article that they write, which fortunately for us is all of their articles.
They could send us t-shirts.
Okay, fine. Maybe if we wore t-shirts during our podcast for Bro Bible.
It'd be neat.
All right, well, have them send one to you. I'll wear whatever I want.
Next article. NFL fans crushed the Bears coach Matt Nagy after an awful decision led to missed last-second field goal. USAtoday.com.
This headline makes it sound like they put him under a board and covered that board with stones until he was dead.
I mean, they basically want to. So, okay.
NFL fans crushed the Bears' Matt Nagy.
I mean, look at this. The Bears had the ball from the Chargers' 21-yard line with 43 seconds left in the game, down by 1. You have time to run a couple plays, right? Plenty of time. Instead, they took a knee to set up a 41-yard field goal for the win. 43 seconds? That's so much time. That's so much football time.
That is a lot of time.
And you could probably pick up at least another 6 yards, making a 35-yard field goal, which is basically an extra point.
I mean, I definitely think it points to maybe a lack of trust or a lack of belief in their offense. I don't know if that's directed at Mitch Trubisky or what, but when I see something like that to say 43 seconds and we're just going to say, you know what, we're close enough, I'm going to let special teams take it from here. That doesn't show a lot of trust in that offense. That doesn't give a resounding I believe in you guys when the game is on the line to that offense.
It says I believe in my shaky ass kicking better than my offense. Someone NFL Humor, I guess, is a Twitter handle. NFL Humor tweeted out Eddie Pinheiro dressed as Cody Parkey this year for Halloween. This other guy, Michael Wilbin, says, people don't want to hear this, but the Chicago Bears have a much bigger problem than Trubisky, who is playing like shit right now. That's my little add-on. The head coach is the bigger problem. Curious how an offensive genius could turn down chances to get his kicker a chip shot and instead just let the clock run down. This other guy says, Matt Nagy wasting 40 seconds cackling it up with the NFL refs just to miss a field goal perfectly sums up the Bears season. This person says, Tom Fornelli says, what if Matt Nagy is an idiot?
Like
Which comes
Suddenly,
after his Matt Nagy statements last week saying, "Listen, I'm not an idiot. I want to run the ball more." Whoops.
I just like. I mean, this quote from at Will Brinson, I think, is exactly what everybody in the world knows, and what you were trying to say. If the Bears were 5 yards closer, that field goal is good. Good coaching, Matt Nagy.
Can you believe they let Mitch Trubisky into the Pro Bowl as an alternate last year?
I mean, the way this is looking, Drew Brees is going to go in as an NFC. Is going to be Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers from the NFC and Teddy Bridgewater as the alternate.
two quarterbacks from the Saints. I'd be all right with that. I would.
Teddy Bridgewater had a great run while Drew Brees was injured.
Yeah, I was proud of him. Good for him.
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, maybe you give it to Jimmy Garoppolo, but I'm just saying that there's a chance that there could be 2 Pro Bowl selections at quarterback.
Bring it. I want it. I want it. Bring it.
That'd be tight. Anyway.
Cheese it on in.
And now I'm cheesing my way back to you, Van, with a burning cheese inside. It's the Packers section.
Packers win 31-24 over the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday night. Kansas City Chiefs did not have Patrick Mahomes playing, which they had Matt Moore, who didn't play at all last year. Actually, wasn't in the NFL last year. He was coaching a high school team.
I think it was somebody told me this. Don't quote me on this, but somebody told me he's the second oldest player to throw his 1,000th pass in the NFL.
Yeah, I saw that stat. Yep. But he played really well. I thought Andy Reid definitely, coached, made a game plan around him to put him in the best position to win.
Yeah, he definitely. I think they definitely did everything they had to do to take the pressure off him and just let him get out there and play football.
Yeah, and it was kind of a tale of like quarters in this game. Packers went up 14-0 after the first quarter. Then the Chiefs come back and score 17 unanswered, going to half at 17-14, and then we dominate the second half. Like it wasn't really even close second half. But check this out: from 10 minutes and 4 seconds left in the third quarter through 13 minutes and 57 seconds left in the fourth, Kansas City ran just one play, which was a fumble. And
Thanks, LaShawn McCoy.
And the Packers scored 10 points. That's domination for almost 7 solid football minutes. That's crazy.
It was about time. I felt a little uneasy there for a lot of the game to say that the defense just was not doing its job, playing so soft.
It was the marshmallowiest shit I ever seen.
They were they were giving triple respect to Tyreek Hill.
They were super scared of Tyreek Hill. It was bad. And we bottled up Travis Kelce pretty well, I thought, for the most part. And Kansas City had 2 really big plays, those 2 touchdowns to start the game that they had. I guess in the second quarter they had. Both of those were directly a result of poor tackling, missed tackles. So,
well, the Travis Kelce touchdown was just, if you didn't see the play, Matt Moore is scrambling. All his receivers are covered, and he throws the equivalent of like an underhand basketball shot, grandma style, like huge lobbing pass to Travis Kelce, which is for whatever reason, our defense, when they see the ball go in the air, just decides to stop moving.
Yeah.
So Travis Kelce, who is not open, as soon as Matt Moore releases the ball, becomes wide open. So that by the time this ball that blocked out the sun comes down,
blocked out the sun.
It's just like a wide open, easiest touchdown.
I don't know if we thought, like, when he whipped it up that high, I don't know if he thought, like, our defense thought, like, oh, he's throwing it away. But no.
I only wrote 2 notes, and the first note that I wrote was, how can you leave Kelce that fucking open? And it's about this play, because he's covered until the ball is released, and then it's just like there's no one on the field besides Matt Moore and Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Packers won. I'm going to relax here. I was watching the first half with fresh energy and the second half with less energy.
I was constant energy. I have a note in here. I don't know if you read it. It says, why is my heart rate always ramped up so high during Packers games? I looked over at Miss Van and I was like, I'm not okay right now. So I had a handful of notes here. I'm so stoked still about the Smith brothers, Preston and Zadarius.
They're not actually
They're
brothers.
my favorite. I know, but they're super Smith brothers. They're my favorite, dude. Like they did this thing called the Whisper Challenge. Have you heard of this? Where one person puts on like earmuffs and the other one is trying to like sound out a word to them and they have to guess what it is. Packers.com posted it. It was the funniest thing between those two guys. And they just love each other, right? Like in the first quarter, or maybe the first half sometime, there was a sack where Preston or Zadarius Smith sacked Matt Moore, and Preston Smith was right there in it with him. Like they had a couple of tackles for loss in that game, and they were both of them right there at the same time. And then Preston Smith got hurt on the sideline for a second, and Zadarius is right there standing next to him, making sure he's okay. They have the best bromance. They're like the best friends, and I'm all about it. I'm all about it.
It is good to see them. They're super tight. It's like they're just fucking twin dragons out there. It's just ridiculous. They're good football players. They really like each other, and it shows that they're having fun out there on the field.
Yeah, this whole team is having fun. There's great chemistry from this entire team, and I love it. So Jake Kumaro, I talked about him last week, had a really nice catch, a couple of really nice catches in the first quarter. I say he's our clear number 3 right now, easily.
I wasn't a believer last week, but I've got to say I'm coming over to the Van side on this. Kumaro looked unstoppable. They had that call that I don't know if they ended up challenging it or not in the first half.
They did, and they lost.
That's right. But it was an unbelievably incredible catch that he made. Just showed a lot of concentration, maintained control throughout the process of the catch, and it was just awesome to watch, to see a guy like Jake Kumaro, which Chris Collinsworth comes on and says, oh, Jake Kumaro, not so big, not so strong, not so fast, but then he's just doing his thing. And
you said
Chris
it. You said it
Collinsworth
wrong.
says as much. He's out here doing his thing.
You said it wrong. It was, now here's a guy who's not so big. You got to start everything with, now here's a guy.
Fine, go ahead.
I like Chris Collinsworth, though. He's good.
So do I.
And Al Michaels. He's nice, too. So, fun fact, Rodgers has thrown to 14 different receivers this season, 7 of whom have caught a touchdown pass.
What?
That's awesome diversity. I love that. One thing I don't love still, and I've been saying this for the past at least 3 years, and I don't understand why Aaron Rodgers drains the play clock down to 2 seconds every fucking play. There were 2 distinct delay of game calls in this game. Yeah, there are 2 delay games. I just don't understand if he's taking the time to read the defense that hard and he's seriously surveying the field until the very last second. But you would think in a hostile environment, such as Arrowhead, you would want to leave yourself a little bit of time in case the center can't hear you on the first call, right? Like I don't get it. I've never understood it. It drives me crazy. Part of me feels like, and maybe I'm reading reading way too far between the lines, but part of me feels like Rodgers is like wasting all his time off the clock because he's like, I'm just trying to run the clock out because I know I'm going to score and win. Like there needs to be less time in this football game.
That is perhaps the most absurd thing I've heard, but I don't know why they can't hurry up. I do know that Aaron calls a lot of audibles. When you have Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels calling the game, they oftentimes will point them out. Same thing. I mean, Tony Romo will do the same.
Yep. It's
extra clear how often he's audibling, or he's using, if he's not doing a full audible, he's calling a hot route for a particular receiver. I think it's got to be, he's that full-on Peyton Manning at the line. He's changing every play, or he's making these hybrid plays, or he really is reading into the defense. And the defense to Kansas City...
Can't he do it like 2 seconds faster, please? Like every time the play clock turns red on the TV screen, I'm like, fucking go! Go! Go!
Here's what I will say. I am happy that we are not wasting timeouts on the delay of games, that we're just taking delay of games.
Oh, my God. Taking, like, a timeout with 5 minutes off the clock in the first quarter is like, oh, stop.
I don't know why that was a thing that we used to do every time.
End of the McCarthy era was fucked up. I don't know why he did that all the time.
I don't know what the deal was, but it's like those 5 yards are not as important as that timeout.
Not even a little bit. Can I talk to you more about poor time management? I love Matt LaFleur, but his time management at the end of the first half this entire season has been nothing short of criminal.
Criminal? So you're going to lock him up?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
gonna
dude.
start next time you go to next time you go to Lambeau in the closing minutes
It'll be in
of the
brig.
second half, or sorry, in the closing minutes of the second quarter, Van in the lower bowl cheering "Lock him up."
I like to believe that there's a brig.
A brig, the football brig.
Yeah, like it's like one of those old salty sailors. Yeah, there's a brig.
So
where he
during
goes.
halftime, you're gonna put LaFleur in the football brig and make him think about what he's done.
Yeah, because he burned 20 seconds off the clock for no fucking reason. Not one reason whatsoever. Straight up, 46 seconds left. We're at like the Kansas City 30-yard line or something like that. And it was like, okay, sweet. We can put together a little drive here because Aaron Rodgers is so good in the 2-minute offense, right? Like Aaron Rodgers is so good at doing this. Just fucking do it. No. We get to the Kansas City 35, 40-yard line. I'm sorry, we get to our 35, 40-yard line and just tick, tock. Ran it down from 46 seconds down to 26, ran a play or two, and then got sacked on the Hail Mary at the very end. Made me so angry.
I want to talk about sacks for just a second. You gave me a little bit of segue here. Throw the ball away. Aaron was not afraid of throwing the ball away last year, and in this game, he takes 5 sacks. 5 sacks with excellent protection.
But check this, though.
Excellent protection that game.
Check this, though.
He took a sack where his drop was almost 10 seconds.
Check this, though.
Throw the ball away.
Would you rather have it be last year, though, where he was throwing the ball away every other throw, though? I wouldn't.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying 5 sacks with awesome coverage.
Now, wait. Aaron Rodgers took 5 sacks in the game against the Bears in the home opener, right? The next 6 weeks, he took a total of 7 sacks. Just over 1 sack per game.
Okay.
With none of those games having more than 2 sacks.
I mean, I'm just saying Kansas City, they came with a lot of blitzes.
They blitzed the fuck out of us. You know what okay, keep going.
But at least 2 or 3 of those sacks did not need to happen. We were really handling a lot of those coverages well. A lot of these blitz plays, we were covering them, we were picking them up. He still had good amount of time to get rid of that ball. The way I saw it, yeah, they're going to get a couple sacks with that amount of blitzing, but 5 sacks? 5 sacks? One of them was 9 seconds or 10 seconds or whatever.
That one was the one I'll give you the credit for, okay, that one was not acceptable.
He's
the other 4,
way outside of the tackle box.
Yeah, the other 4, fine. Just let them happen. And then the 1-2 at the Hail Mary, that one was so that's 2 of your sacks right there. The one that was obviously bad, and then the Hail Mary one. Other than that, 3 sacks,
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If I'm seeing 3 sacks and I'm oh well, they blitzed a lot of these downs. Okay, fine.
I do want to point out one quick fun fact as well. At the end of the first quarter, with 2 minutes left in the first quarter, our offense had 130 yards to Kansas City's 7 yards. Wow. Pretty cool.
That was pretty cool.
But back to Aaron Rodgers again. How about that fucking phenomenal throw and catch to Jamal Williams?
Oh, how did we forget to highlight this?
That shit was I wrote unbelievable catch from Williams in the notes here because that was one of those throws where I was oh, he's throwing the ball away. Whatever.
I thought the same thing. I thought the exact same thing.
And then all of a sudden, it just flutters down in the very corner of the end zone, and no one's looking for Jamal Williams. No one.
He makes the catch, and arguably, there could have been a flag for defensive pass interference on that call. Yeah. Because he has to break through a guy's arm, wrapped up. He's kind of sort of wrapped up for a second there. He breaks through it, makes the catch, both feet in bounds, secures it, keeps it secured through the process of the catch. It was amazing.
If you watch the slow motion of Aaron Rodgers as he throws it, he's throwing, and as the ball is not even out of his hand yet, he's turning his head away because he's in the middle of getting hit. So he releases the ball not even looking at Jamal Williams. It was so impressive. And you know what? I was reading an article today about the mid-season MVPs, and people have Aaron Rodgers up there tied with Russell Wilson for MVP mid-season, which is the strangest thing to me because it's the quietest MVP caliber season I've ever experienced Aaron Rodgers. This feels completely meh.
So let's wrap up the Packers there, but before we move on to gossip, we got a hit on the cheese line. This one coming from our boy RamJam. He says, "Hey Van, nice work predicting the Niners would take care of business against the Panthers. Although even I was not expecting that much of an ass whooping, as Jeezy likes to say. Since you live in Panther territory, Van, I'm curious to hear about fan reactions from that game. Anyone calling for Cam Newton's return?"
No. No, there are 0 people calling for Cam Newton to come back. I'll tell you one. There's one Cam Newton fanatic I work with. One Cam Newton fanatic I work with. Other than that, there are 0 people asking for Cam Newton to come back.
What was the reaction there to that ass whooping?
I went into work and I was like, Alan, 51-13, man. What happened? And he went, I don't know. And just kept doing his work.
I mean,
so I take it to mean like embarrassment and shame, maybe.
That was a public shaming is what it was. Their team was the team in stocks at the town center that everyone threw rotten food at.
Yeah, it was really bad. It was BAD bad. A couple quick more points, and then we're done. We had some very good wide receiver screens to Allen Lazard that were really effective. Almost like a sweep play. I'd like to see more of that. That was very, very impressive. I don't think we praised Aaron Jones enough for his role in the game. Currently leads the NFL in touchdowns, 11 touchdowns, currently leading the NFL. The very end of the game had a long touchdown where he turned on the fucking Jets and just went, right? Just fucking took off.
Yeah,
Great
that was incredible.
Great pass blocking this game. Can't say enough about Aaron Jones' career high performance, leading the league in touchdowns. Cannot say enough about him right now.
His catching, I mean, they've been putting him in some challenging roles for a running back, and he has just been making some incredible catches.
I say this is what's amazing is that we can split him out wide as a wide receiver, or we can have him come out the backfield. Either way, the defense now has to plan for an additional wide receiver on the field.
And what we saw during the Chiefs game was that when he is running these wide receiver routes, he's being covered by a linebacker, and it is a horrible mismatch for pass coverage.
Absolutely. And it's going to get even worse when Devontae Adams comes back this week because that's one less person in the secondary you can put on Aaron Jones.
Yep.
And I feel like you can't dedicate safeties and corners to a running back, but like, we'll see what happens. This is going to get good.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks very promising. Aaron Jones is just creating a matchup nightmare. Whether he's coming out of the backfield or he's split out, he's just a matchup nightmare as far as a receiving running back goes. And it's the first time I've really felt that way, maybe ever, as a Packers fan.
Oh, absolutely. I've never felt this way before. I just can't fight this feeling anymore, Jeezy.
And I can't fight this feeling anymore.
And the last thing I'll say about the Packers and Chiefs game is I wrote, Mahomes is smirking the entire game. Fuck that guy. Did you see him like this little like smirk like, oh, I could do that better? A little fucking smirk out of this side of his mouth the entire fucking game. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, he was smirking, but he is definitely the best quarterback in the AFC. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean,
no
yeah,
asterisks.
No, he is. He is.
So, he's definitely better than Matt Moore.
Well, without a doubt. I'm just saying he looked very smarmy sitting there with his little fucking smirk. I'm better than you. And also, so now I have a hard question. The hard question is, Matt Moore performed so well in his first game playing since 2017 when he played for the Dolphins. Is Mahomes that good, or does he look a little better than he actually is with having a great cast around him? Just floating that out there. Doesn't need to have an answer right now. Just floating it out there. Consider the fact that as Brady looks better for all of his coaches putting fantastic players around him, is something similar on a different scale happening with Mahomes in Kansas City?
I'm going to go ahead and say that's a stupid question. Let's go to the next section.
You like what I did there?
Well done.
OBJ gets fined again. Can I tell you the fine that the NFL handed out to him? It was $14,000 and $14,037. Can you guess what it was for? What would warrant a $14,000 fine?
Was he talking shit about Roger Goodell?
His pants didn't cover his knees.
What?
His pants did not cover his knees.
Like the bottom of his pants didn't reach and cover his full knees?
I guess so, man.
That's a
I can't read. He posted a picture on his Twitter, and I can't read all of it because I'm too far away from my computer right now. He 6-year
yeah.
veteran he's been fined 13 times his career for almost $250,000. His pants failed to cover his knees back in week 5. He's going
According to Rule 5, Section 4, Article 3, Item 4. Fuck off, NFL.
I mean, for real, your pants didn't cover your knees. Are you? Is the NFL like worried about like, oh, that dude's got some weird shaped knees? We can't be having people see that. Nope, can't have people seeing those knees. That's fucking weird.
I wasn't
Maybe
just
it, like,
making up that item thing just before. That is the
oh, I know.
actual. That's the actual citation.
I get there's a dress code, and I get that once you start altering the dress code, people start doing whatever they want. Like how in college dudes roll up their fucking jerseys to show their six packs. I don't know that that's necessarily allowed. I get that there's a uniform requirement, but like, hey man, this isn't like 1800 where you have to be modest and cover your knees at all times.
Seems a little ridiculous.
Seems completely ridiculous.
Sorry, OBJ. Pay up.
I'm not sorry one bit. Follow the rules. I'm also a little salty because the Browns are still making me look like an asshole, a huge asshole.
Well, you know what's good about a huge asshole?
Speaking of Tom Brady,
Oh my gosh.
ESPN's this is an article from Clutch Points. ESPN and Adam Schefter says Patriots Tom Brady staying in New England is the least likely option. He apparently has sold or is selling his condo or whatever he has in New England. And this isn't the first time Schefter's talked about it. But Schefter says there's 3 options. He's either staying in New England, he's retiring, or he's going to play somewhere else, which, of course, like those are the only 3 options that there are anyways. He says that staying in New England would be the least likely of all of them. He thinks that any one of them is the could happen. But yeah, Tom Brady sold his home in New England, and I also heard someone say that the Bears would be a good landing spot for him, which like isn't saying much because Mitch Trubisky sucks so hard. I don't know that he would want to play there either. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think Tom Brady would ever play for another team?
I mean, Tom Brady, if he goes in somewhere, to me, if you're picking up Tom Brady, he needs to go somewhere that has a good line and a good coach. Those would be the things I would say. If I'm Tom Brady, those are the things I want. I want a good offensive line, and I want a good coach. Everything else, I don't know. It's just a matter of where he wants to be geographically, and I'm not inside the mind of Tom Brady to know. But if I were a quarterback in his 40s, I don't want to fucking play for the Dolphins. I don't want to play for some other trash team. I want to find it.
Like when Brett Favre went to the Jets?
Yeah, I don't want to be Brett Favre on the Jets, okay? I want to be Brett Favre on the Vikings.
I don't want Brett Favre to be on any team besides the Packers, so let's get that clear.
Okay, whatever you say, but I'm just saying.
I don't think Brady will play anywhere else. I think if he comes back to football next year, he's on the Patriots. If he goes elsewhere, it's to his fucking couch.
That's probably true.
Continuing on with Tom Brady, though, apparently I had this phrase I like to use, and I feel like it's an actual thing. People who inappropriately escalate situations. So like, hey man, I slapped you on the arm, so you punch me in the face instead. That's an inappropriate level of escalation. And apparently Tom Brady does this with like locker room pranks. Like he takes it too far. So this article from TotalProSports.com, Matt Castle was a quarterback, kind of like a journeyman quarterback in the NFL for a while.
Yeah.
He and Brady were teammates in New England. And he said, it started out as, knocking food trays out of her hand and putting a foot up against the door so you can't get through it, then, like icy hot in his underwear, shit like that, right? This one says he dumped a trash can on my car and then decided to pee on my practice jersey.
Ew.
And then asked me to forgive him and call him Captain Longshanks.
What the fuck?
So Matt Castle says, I'm not doing that. I'm going to do something even worse. And he said by the time he came in for practice the next day, 3 of the tires from his car were in front of his locker. His car was up on blocks, and Brady had hid the other tire somewhere else. He had to go find it. He said he had to like get a ride from a friend to and from practice for a couple days till he could find his tire.
What the fuck?
And apparently Brady has gone so far, like someone at one point, like Bill Belichick had to intervene because here's another one. The lineman decided to fill Brady's car up with foam peanuts, put confetti in his air conditioning unit, and at that point, Belichick had to step in and say, "Look, guys, this isn't World War IV, okay?" Which apparently he's skipping 3.
Well, maybe he thought World War Z was World War III.
That movie with Brad Pitt?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I didn't see it. Was it good?
it was pretty good.
I'm all about that kind of zombie, like the fast zombie. Anyways, he says, "We can't have you guys going around and hurting somebody or killing somebody." Matt Castle said, "At the end of the day, I did have to go home with my buddy for at least 4 days before you give me back my other tire."
That's pretty shitty.
I feel like I mean, from reading that, like inappropriate escalation, right? Like, "Hey man, I took your tire, ha 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 ha." It's like, okay, well, I gotta go home now. Give me it back. He's like, "No, you can't have it back." No, dude, I have to go home. Like, if it was me and I was at work and someone didn't get my tire back, I'd be like, "Dude, I'm fucking hungry. I'm tired. I want to poop in my own toilet. Then you go home.
Yep.
Give me my tire back. Give me my tire."
Yep, you're right.
I do like the confetti in the air conditioner, though. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that is pretty solid. So anyway, time to move on to the primetime picks. We got coming up tomorrow. We're recording on Wednesday. So tomorrow on Halloween, we have the 49ers versus the Cardinals.
It's going to be scary how bad the Cardinals get their asses kicked.
I think it's going to be scary how bad the 49ers are going to whoop on that Cardinals ass.
It's going to be bad.
Lock us in for the Niners, both. The next primetime pick, so that's not a primetime game, but the midday game is the Packers game. Packers versus Chargers.
I mean, it's basically going to be Lambeau West. There's a very large Packers contingency in that area. And where the Chargers are playing right now, the stadium's only for 27,000 people. It's very small. And like last year when the Packers played the Rams in LA, like probably 50% Packers fans. So I expect it to be probably like 70 to 80% Packers fans. It's going to be a home game that the Packers are going to win.
I agree. Packers will beat the Bolts. Sunday night, primetime, we have perhaps the first interesting Patriots game where the Patriots match up against the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, this is the first time the Patriots will play a decent team this year. Like the Bills were decent, but not the same level as decent as the Ravens. The Patriots defense has been very stout against garbage teams. But I really feel like Lamar Jackson is probably the most difficult quarterback they faced this far.
Yeah, maybe the whole year. I don't think that. See, the thing about Lamar Jackson is he just brings so much athleticism to the game that it's hard to know exactly how to play defense against him. Now there are teams that have certainly beaten the Ravens. I think my vote, unfortunately, has to be for the Pats.
It's in Baltimore.
It's in Baltimore.
I think the Patriots don't really lose in prime time ever.
Yeah, it's tough to vote against them in prime time.
Fuck it, I'm gonna do it. Give me the Ravens.
Ooh, going with the flock.
Yeah, give me them. Give me them. I don't give a fuck. I want Patriots to lose anyways. I don't think any team should go undefeated ever. I don't think it's fair.
Yeah, I don't. Van taking the flock. All right. Monday night prime time, we have the Cowboys going to New Jersey to take on the Giants.
As much as I hate saying it, I'm gonna take them boys.
I'm gonna take them boys too. The G-men looking real shitty these days. And not that the Cowboys are looking so awesome, but they're looking better than that shit stack that is the New York Giants.
I got one for you real quick. Vikings Chiefs.
They play Sunday. They're playing in Kansas City. I think Patrick Mahomes will be back next week. They said he was good to go last week, and they wanted to give him an extra week. Give me the Chiefs.
You got him. You got him. And you know what? You got him. And my opinion on this as well is that the Chiefs will take it, especially with Patrick Mahomes back, especially with getting a couple guys that are on defense injured back. I don't think the Chiefs can, the Vikings can do it.
So I'm going to give you two teams that are kind of floating around the middle. One of them seems to be on the decline, the other maybe on the upswing. I'm talking about the Chicago Bears versus the Philadelphia Eagles.
In Philly, the Eagles are going to whoop that ass.
I think you might be right about that, but if Matt Nagy is not an idiot, they might just do something okay.
I mean, listen, there's not much going for that team right now.
They have a lot of negative momentum. Like, the problem is that they have too much negative momentum. their team is better than they're playing.
They need a galvanizing moment, right? Like, usually good teams have one. They face adversity. They have this galvanizing moment, right? Like the Rodgers relax, RELAX relax. That was a galvanizing moment that helped that team bond together, make a playoff run. The run the table comment, right? And we did run the table. You know, that was another galvanizing moment where that team banded together and, you know, came together, did something special. The Bears need something like that, anything like that.
I agree. And with that, you've been listening to Gettin Cheezy with Van and Jeezy.
I'm Van.
And I'm Jeezy.
Check us out on Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud. I'm blanking. Twitter, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, cheezypodcast.com. That's probably all of it.
We're two guys talking on the internet, and you can find us all over the internet.
I mean, basically you can. You can also call or text us, 980-2-CHEEZY with a Z, 980-224-3399. Once again, thank you everybody for the love and support. Over 1,000 listens and streams on SoundCloud. We love you guys and appreciate you so much. We never imagined making it this far, but here we are.
So proud, so happy to be a part of this team, Van, and providing all this quality content for our loyal listeners. Thank you guys so much. So much.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves with the quality word there. But
oh, sorry. I didn't mean the quality, but I meant
all
quantity.
I knew
of
you were
this
saying it.
Quantity
That
content.
joke was like 15 years old.
That joke is older than that, man.
That joke was introduced to me about 15 years ago.
We make a lot of quantity content here. A large quantity content.
Gettin Cheezy with Van and Jeezy. You're a one-stop shop for quantity content. We'll catch you guys next time.